But, Mr. Deputy Speaker, a great deal is missing from this year's Queen's speech. Nothing about making misogyny a hate crime or tackling violence against women and girls. Nothing about making housing more affordable. And once again, the climate emergency was not mentioned even once. Thousands are struggling because of the cost of living crisis. Now is the time for the government to be bold about the future of energy, where it comes from and what it will cost. One of my constituents told me, I do not heat my home properly and stay in bed to keep warm. I welcome the upcoming energy security bill, but will it say, in no uncertain terms, that the future must be renewable energy and not fossil fuels? Will it set an end date for the UK to stop extracting all fossil fuels and leave gas and oil in the ground? Where is the windfall tax on the super profits of oil and gas giants that the Liberal Democrats are calling for? Where is the retrofitting programme to save energy and ease the burden of rising bills? Why are developers still able to build homes which will need expensive retrofitting in a few years' time, because the government has so far failed to introduce legislation to build net zero homes now? Unless we see a decisive legislative programme now, households will struggle with the cost of living crisis far into the future. In Bath and North East Somerset, the average household energy bill has risen to a staggering £1,360. Research suggests that the government's short-sighted decision to scrap the zero-carbon homes policy has added nearly £400 per year to people's energy bills. Insulating our homes is not just about getting to net zero. It will protect the British people from volatile energy prices and rising bills. The sooner that the government gets on with a meaningful and resourced plan to improve the energy efficiency of our homes, the better. Access, Mr. Deputy Speaker, to health causing increased anxiety to my Bath constituents. Bath and North East Somerset has been named as one of the UK's 20 dental deserts. We have only 44 dentists per 100,000 people. For many of my constituents, NHS dental treatment remains a distant prospect. One of my constituents told me she was afraid to eat in case she broke one of her temporary fillings because anything more permanent would cost private fees. We will face an exodus of dentists from the NHS if the government does not act and reforms the dentist contracts. And what about ambulance waiting times? People in the South West are waiting longer for ambulances than anywhere else in England, with waiting times regularly exceeding 2 hours. This crisis is driven by the crisis in social care. The RUH, my local hospital, has at least 100 beds that are filled with people who are medically fit to be discharged but have no one to look after them at home. It is essential that a workforce, this is essentially a workforce crisis in social care, unless the government understands how to make social care a valued and well-paid career. The crisis will continue into the future and get worse. And finally, where is the promised employment bill? Ministers have promised to enhance existing redundancy protections for pregnant women and new mothers since December 2019 as a direct response to the Equality and Human Rights Commission's landmark investigations into pregnancy and maternity discrimination in the workplace. This government has wasted 6 years talking about pregnancy and maternity discrimination at work, but failed to do anything to tackle it. Mr. Deputy Speaker, since 2015, the Conservatives have been running this country. Since then, we have become poorer, more divided, more unequal, and less able to face the big challenges of the future.
Hear, hear. Ms. Fish.